Hello, this is Terry from Vercept showing you a new way you can be more productive with AI. So you probably heard by now of many different AI agents, and you probably noticed that they all lack one specific thing. They aren't general enough and are typically limited to just your web browser. So what the team here at Vercept has been doing is creating one of the first publicly available general AI agents for computers. And the program I'm talking about is called Vi, and what you can do with this program is pretty much endless. For example, a salesperson can use it for finding and listing potential prospects in a spreadsheet. A developer can use it for finding and installing an API key. Operations can use it for drafting down emails to coworkers about status updates. And a student like me can use it for cheating on an assignment. And in this video, I'm going to show you the basics of how to prompt Vi so you can do amazing stuff like this with just one simple prompt. After you open Vi, you're going to be greeted with this screen where you can prompt it. And for those of you who are familiar with ChatGPT and how that works is basically when you prompt ChatGPT, you give it a detailed description of what you want to get out of it. Vi kind of works the same way, but for general tasks on your computer. And there's really three main elements that go into a successful Vi prompt. The first one is location of where you want to work in. In this example, I'm having to go to LinkedIn using a sheet on my desktop. The second is the task of what you want to do exactly. In this example, I'm having to find prospects and then list that information in a spreadsheet. And then finally, we have the information that Vi might need for completing the task. So in this example, I basically explain the type of people I'm looking for, what information I want, and where the sheet is located on my computer. All those things is what go into creating a successful Vi prompt. And once you figure it out and type it all in, you can click this green circle right here and it will go run the prompt. What Vi is going to do is it's going to go out to LinkedIn and it's going to go find all these people that I told it to. It may use some external sources like websites to gather all the information about these prospects. But once it has all that information, it's going to go out to the spreadsheet that I told it to and it's going to enter in all the information, kind of like how I prompt it. Now let's say you notice Vi doing something that you don't want it to do. For example, let's say it goes and finds people who are internationally instead of domestic. What you can do is you can pause Vi and you can give it feedback on what you want to do. Using the feedback box, you can reprompt Vi to correct something, remember information for future use, or even ask it to save this task as a workflow that you can run in the future, or you can ask it to resume what's going on. Now let's say you try to give Vi feedback and it doesn't correct itself. It may be an issue that our development team has to take a look at. What you can do is you can click this feedback button and a form will pop up for you to submit feedback so you can take a look at it and you can be able to run that workflow in the future. You might have noticed in this example that Vi was using my computer, so I couldn't use it. If you click this toggle right here, you can switch to this mode called background mode. And what background mode essentially is it uses your web browser and text documents on your computer to complete tasks. This is really useful if you want Vi to go out and do things like summarize an email, start a booking at a restaurant, or researching something. Now, let's say you want Vi to work with other apps besides your web browser. For example, let's say you want to use this sheet right here and summarize the contents of it. In that case, you will need full control mode because it is something outside of a web browser. Prompting Vi in background mode is basically the same as full control mode. In this example, I'm having to go out and read a textbook and then saving notes on it in the Notes app, all I'm continuing to do other work. You can view what Vi is doing in background mode by clicking on the task and then the background browser button. Next thing, I briefly go over the user interface of Vi. What you can do is you can actually shrink this user interface to be smaller by clicking the square button in the top right corner if you want it to be smaller and free up space in your computer. And then you can click this button right here to make it a large window again. Underneath the prompt box, what you'll notice is we have your previous tasks that you ran if you want to view them. It is important to note that if you do close the app after running a task, it is going to show up as a historical session and you can't prompt feedback for that task. But if you don't close the app, you'll still be able to prompt feedback for it to complete a task. Another very important thing too is privacy. If you click this settings button right here and then go to applications, you can select what applications Vi has access to. You can also click this permissions tab right here to change what directory Vi has access to while running in background mode. With full control mode, Vi has access to all directories on your computer unless you deselect a specific application under the applications window. Moving over to the recording tab, you can select a maximum file size for recordings. and then you can access them by clicking this Open Recordings folder. This can be very handy if you need to submit a feedback form or review what Vi has done on your computer. You can also clear all recordings to save out space on your computer by clicking this red button right here. If you want more information on our privacy policy, you can view our human readable terms by going to vercept.com/human readable terms or FAQ page at vercept.com/FAQ. Another pretty cool feature I think a lot of you like about Vi is the Workflows tab. So what you can do is you can basically create automations in the Workflows tab by either writing it from scratch or using this feature called Watch and Repeat. Now, what Watch and Repeat is basically like explain to a coworker what you're doing, and then Vi will replicate that for future automations. So I'll give you an example here with uploading something to YouTube. We're going to click Start Recording. What you're going to do is you're going to go to YouTube Studio, and then you're going to click this Create button and then Upload Videos. After that, you're going to go to this folder I have on my desktop called Uploads. And you're going to go select the corresponding video that I tell you to do. In this example that I'm showing you right now, we're going to use this video titled Example Video. And then you're going to upload it to YouTube. You're going to title the video by going to the corresponding script file that I tell you to go to. And then you're going to copy whatever the title is next to the title box. So in this case, it's example script. Then for description, you'll copy whatever the description is under the description box. You're going to click no, it's not made for kids. You're going to click no to alter content. And then you're just going to click next, 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 until you get to the visibility page. You're going to click this unlisted button, and then you're going to schedule it for whatever the date is on here. So in this case, it's September 30th, 2025. And then you're going to click schedule once you're done. And then I just stopped the watch and repeat workflow. And what it's going to do is it's going to save this as a workflow that I can create for future use. Once it's done creating the workflow, it'll give you a name, a description, and it's going to tell all the workflow steps. And as you can see, these boxes right here are my variables, and you'll see how I prompt that in a second. But it's using the video file name that I tell it to, the script file name that I tell it to, and the publish date that I tell it to, what exactly the steps that I told it to do are. So once that looks good, you can click the run button. Or if you want to, you can go back to the prompt box. You can click the workflows button. You can select the workflow, and then you can tell it, what exactly video file you want to upload. So I basically just referenced the example video and the example script that I wanted to upload. And then you can click the arrow here and it will upload it. That basically concludes this tutorial on how to use Vi. I'd highly encourage you, if you haven't already, to check out our Explore Use Cases page on our website. I think there's a lot of very helpful use cases on there that you guys would like. We also have a Discord too, if you want to be part of our early adopter community and get some more insights in there. But anyways, thank you again for being an early adopter of Vi, and we can't wait to hear about all the amazing things that you're going to do with it.